So I've been doing Amazon for nearly 10 years now. And I've launched multiple new brands on Amazon. And this presentation, I'm going to go over the 5 mistakes I see most brands make when launching on Amazon. And I'm telling you right now that if you avoid these mistakes, you'll be better off than 99% of sellers and competitors, and you will have an unfair competitive advantage. All you need to do is implement the fundamentals and the pillars that I go over in this presentation. In fact, I've used the material in this presentation to launch multiple new brands on Amazon, such as this brand, which launched just a couple months ago and then hit 500,000 per month in the first 90 days. And while launching this brand, I saw all of the mistakes that they make, either because they didn't know, they thought Amazon handled the process, or they weren't sure how to implement. Now, as a result of fixing these mistakes, me and my team saved the brand more than $52,000 in Amazon fees. So let's get into it. Now, the first mistake I see D2C brands make is using restricted keywords in their listing. Your beautiful website copy is not allowed on Amazon. So if you make references to trademark terms like James Bond, competitor names, you will get in trouble on Amazon. Additionally, there's some restricted keywords like pesticide, antimicrobial, BPA free, fungal, and cancer. In fact, there's more than 160 keywords that trigger Amazon flags. And if you use these keywords, you may sell for months, making $1,000 a day, $5,000 a day. But one day you will wake up to an Amazon suspension until they verify your claims. Now, if you want the full list of these keywords, you can go to this description below just to audit your listing. But moving on to the second mistake I see. The second mistake I see is you assume Amazon will charge you a standard FBA fee. This is incorrect. Now, Amazon will routinely mismeasure your product and charge you the wrong FBA fees. And if you catch these mistakes, you can dispute them, and Amazon will actually refund you the difference, but you need to catch them. Here's how we do that. Every single week, we look at the inventory dashboard and we do a quick check of the FBA fees. If you see here, this product has an FBA fee of $4.55. This product has an FBA fee of $4.55. These should be the exact same. If they're not, then Amazon is probably mismeasuring your product. These fees should stay constant week to week, and you can set up alerts to see if they change. Now, moving on, the absolute biggest mistake I see new sellers make is not enrolling in new seller incentives. This is kind of a lesser known program on Amazon, and here's exactly what it does. So, new seller incentives gives you a 10% bonus on the first $50,000 in branded sales, 5% on the next $950,000 in branded sales, $200 in credits for Amazon Vine, $400 in credits for inbound placement fees, and more. Doesn't that sound good? Here's the results for one of the brands that we worked with. They earned the full bonus amount on branded sales, which amounted to $52,500 in credits towards Amazon fees. But for this brand, they had a problem. By default, you are enrolled in this program, but Amazon can miss some of your ASINs. This happens a lot in large catalogs, and especially if you're launching new products very quickly on Amazon. For this brand in particular, they had multiple ASINs that were left out of this program so that they were not receiving the benefit of all of their branded search. So here's exactly how you check this. To check, you can go to this URL, and I will leave this in the description below. You can click download list of eligible ASINs, and you can cross-check this against your product catalog. If there are any missing ASINs, you can open up a case with seller support and then enroll them in the program. Now, this is something we routinely check for all new sellers, but it is very, very easy to mix because by default you are enrolled, but Amazon does miss a lot of your ASINs. So check today. It takes less than 10 minutes. It could save you a lot of money. Now, another mistake I see new sellers make is that they don't pay attention to the FBA shipping policy. Amazon is strict about shipping times, and they want to preserve the customer experience. So if you're going to launch with some FBM or seller fulfilled shipping, make sure that it is set up correctly. There are two places to set up. One, the handling time, and then two, the shipping profile. Handling time is the amount of time it takes between getting an order on Amazon and putting a tracking number into Amazon's system. The shipping profile dictates how long it takes to ship a product to the customer. You need to audit both of these things to ensure that they align with Amazon's policies and what you're promising the consumer. Because if you get in trouble with your FBM shipments, it can put a notice on the account. And in very extreme cases, Amazon will actually shut off the ability for you to use FBM on their platform. But let's assume that you have your FBM shipping set up. So let's talk about FBA shipping. And this is something I see a lot of new brands forget about. I think because they just assume Amazon will automatically do this, but they won't. So when you ship products into Amazon, you need to be using an inventory reimbursement software. Now, what does that mean? So let's use an example. You send in 10,000 units to Amazon. Amazon only receives 9,888. Where did the 112 units go? Now, this is very common where Amazon just misplaces inventory, misscans inventory. And you know what? Amazon will actually reimburse you for the amount of products that they lose. But you have to manually submit a claim for the shipment or use a software. Now, this policy actually just recently changed. So Amazon will reimburse you for the landed cost of the units. So let's assume you sell a product for $19.99. The landed cost to you is $5. In previous years prior to 2025, they would reimburse you the full $19.99. It was as if you had sold that product for $19.99. Now, this year, actually just changing April 1st, 2025, it will shift to that landed cost, which you can input in the inventory dashboard. So you will get reimbursed $5 instead of $19.99. Now, to do this, you have to manually submit a claim for every shipment, or you have to use an automated software. Now, I always recommend an automated software. Generally, any tasks that are worth under $10 an hour, I use software. And then if I can't use software, then I'll have like a virtual assistant or something. But for this, there's a number of different software solutions that exist. The one I personally recommend is Seller Investigators. And how it works is they take a percent of money recovered. So it's all incremental and done on autopilot. So if they find that you're eligible for 100 units, you'll get reimbursed that minus their percentage. So it's just all incremental to your bottom line. Typically, what I've seen in the past, this can add 3 to 5% in net profit over the span of a year, which can be fairly significant, especially if you're doing 7, 8 figures. So there we have it. The 5 most common mistakes I see on Amazon. 1, using restricted keywords in your Amazon listings. 2, not auditing your Amazon FBA fees. 3, not enrolling in new seller incentives. This is very important. Every new seller needs to audit this immediately. And it's something I don't see a lot of people talking about. 4, you have to nail your FBM shipping policy. This is prime for customer satisfaction. And then 5, using an inventory reimbursement software. So if you fix all 5 of these mistakes, you're going to increase your odds of success drastically.